To Cowboy Logic, I'm Little Donna Fiducia.
And I'm Little Donnie Newen.
And boy,
Do we have a show?
for you.
Hey, Donna,
Yes, Donnie?
can you reach your microphone?
Nope.
This is gonna be a long show.
Baby. Baby Don and Don. I love
Nice
that.
job, Jengus.
That's so cute. Genghis Khan, thank you. And welcome to Cowboy Logic, everybody.
We got a lot to unpack today,
You're not
and that's
gonna
why
scream
I'm
in
not.
my ear?
No,
Good,
I'm not
thank
going to
you.
do that.
Thank
We
you.
got too much to do. We got a lot of business on the table. So let's get right after it.
Lots to talk about because I'm not a real fan of John Thune. I think most people who are MAGA or have any common sense are not. Because we showed you in past weeks how he might be the recipient of these smurfing, as they call it, these little blue, which you think is blue states, but it's not. It's blue and red. It's Republican and Democrat. These little donations that tend to add up and can buy off these politicians. Well, G. Edward Griffin, who's now, I think, like 93, 94 years old, he's awesome. He wrote The Creature from Jekyll Island about the Fed some 25, 30 years ago. And
But most importantly,
Yes.
he hosted our surprise wedding in 2020.
Yes, he did.
That's right.
We emceed one of his Red Pill expos back in 2020.
And it conflicted with our wedding date. So
he let us get
said,
married at a Saturday night
We'll let
dinner.
you get married. And we had more people at that wedding in 2020, I think, than anybody on earth.
Yeah.
Because we had over 350 unmasked
Yes.
people at our wedding.
That we didn't even know until the day before.
That's right.
It was awesome.
Some of them we didn't know.
It was awesome.
All right.
Anyhow, but he also talked years ago, decades ago, about NGOs. So, with all these NGOs, I mean, Stacey Abrams supposedly got $2 billion, when Biden was going out the door, just as Trump was coming in, and they don't know where that money went. I mean, there's so many billions, hundreds of millions and possibly billions going out to these people that you kind of wonder where this money's coming from. Well, it's NGOs. So you think NGOs were a recent thing? Well, think again.
Over 120 years ago, a French economist by the name of Frédéric Bastiat wrote an essay entitled The Law. It contains one of the clearest and most compelling statements of political philosophy that you'll ever find. In straightforward language and logic, Bastiat proves beyond all doubt that the proper function of government is to protect the lives, liberty, and property of its citizens, but not to provide for them. To protect and not to provide. For in order to provide for some, first it must take from others. And once it has been granted the power to take from some and give to others, then it becomes the potential mechanism for what Bastiat called legalized plunder. The control of that mechanism becomes a highly coveted tool by individuals and groups who wish to line their own pockets out of the taxes taken from someone else. Everybody wants in on the take.
He was
Yep.
he was so far ahead of the
So
curve.
brilliant. So it's probably all due to white supremacy that, all this bad stuff happens. If you're Zoran Mondami, in New York City, he gets up there, he touts DEI programs with another name. They're not really they are DEI, but he can't call them that because DEI supposedly is outlawed. He's spending $10 million to figure out why Whitey, quite honestly, gets more things than people of color. I mean, he's spending $10 million on 2 commissions for that. Meanwhile, there's a judge named Guy Mitchell in New York City who just gave a police officer 3 to 9 years for throwing, I think it was like a cooler.
Sort of cooler. It was a cooler.
At a fleeing suspect on a scooter who fell off the scooter and then hit his head, apparently on a lamppost. So it was a total accident.
It was a drug bust.
Yeah, it was a drug bust. So this guy gets 3 to 9 years. Meanwhile, this judge raises serious concerns about the future of policing. So he says the New York City Common Sense Caucus needs to kick in. He sentenced a gang member, the same judge, to 9 months for beating a man to death. 59%, by the way, already.
But he wanted to set an example out of this NYPD officer, right. Don't you know?
Yeah. So now let's go back to D.C., where what's happening now, because the deep state can't let Trump do what he's doing. How many... I have a question. How many recess appointments do you think Trump has gotten since he's been
I'd like
in office?
to answer that, Donna.
Okay, go ahead, Donald.
Nada.
Not
a single one.
0. Obama had 32. GW had 171 and Clinton had 139. But no, John Thune's not letting that happen. He's having them convene for about 30 seconds, and therefore Trump cannot do his recess appointments again. And they're just getting back from Easter break. We'll see what happens with that. But they're also saying Trump is mentally incompetent. Here's Hakeem Jeffries, Pocahontas, and the usual suspects all saying that Biden was A-OK.
Used to make beer brewed here. It is used to make the brew beer in this refinery. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lake. They want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about. And then that's him lying around. She knows so long as she was denied. And here today is Hirsch Goldberg Poland, and there's still, he is not here with us, but he's still being held by Hamas. We're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
I mean, this is unbelievable. But you know what? This all coincides. We're going to talk.
Do you remember those days?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
And that was...
Yeah, disgusting.
That was elderly abuse.
Yeah, it was. Totally elder abuse. We're going to talk to Jovan Hutton Pulitzer next hour, because all of this seems to coincide with this executive order that Trump did put in that basically will secure the elections, because John Thune's not pushing the Save America Act through. Ideally, that's what should happen. But you know what? The hypocrisy is there. Speaking of hypocrisy, Eric Swalwell just got called for Trump, or he just called for Trump to release all the Epstein files, right? And then what happens? A staff member, and many staff members are resigning over Swalwell apparently making sexual advancements or worse against them. One woman basically said Swalwell showed his Anthony Weiner to her. So, this is the pot calling the kettle black. Melania says, let them all testify before Congress. Let's see what happens.
Stellar speech.
It was stellar. It was stellar. And this whole Swalwell thing is evolving. Not to make a pun out of this, but we'll see what happens in coming weeks with that. But even Nancy Pelosi saying he needs to get the hell out of the gubernatorial race in California. Which brings me to Gavin Newsom on Meet the Press. You want to talk about lying. Gavin Newsom says he dislikes lying politicians.
After raising 3 kids and 8 grandchildren, I've never seen a toy create this much genuine happiness. I've been a grandmother for 15 years, and this is the smartest purchase I've ever made. Last month, I got my granddaughter Emma this smart robotic puppy called Wuffy. I still can't believe what this tiny guy can do. This isn't just some stuffed animal. Wuffy has smart technology inside that recognizes Emma's voice and responds to her. He sits.
In response to someone talked about it, and I hate when nothing I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break. So as it relates to that, there's nothing on the right. I'm focused on Prop 50. I'm focusing on fair and free elections. And to the extent fate the future, there's an alignment, you have a big enough why, you have a what and a how, you meet a moment, and that moment presents itself in a year and a half, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'm rolling my eyes.
We'll see what happens.
Oh, my gosh. Give me a break.
Listen, we're going to close this segment out with somebody that I idolized, and I'm sure all of you all did, too.
He was the coolest.
Chuck Norris. And obviously, he passed away a while ago. But we're going to show you some Chuck Norris clips that you may not have seen. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. You were one of a kind. Hey, everybody. You guys know with Cowboy Logic, we don't take any sponsors without fully vetting them and checking them out. Sugar Creek Goods is one of those companies that we have partnered with for a number of years. They're big supporters of the Jan 6 community, and we appreciate not only the fact that they do that, but they make great American-made products. SugarCreekGoods.com. Don't forget that. We've got the Cowboy Logic collection that they designed specifically for Donna and me. Tack Room, Barn Party, and Silver Fox, along with the Silver Fox Body Butter. Let me tell you guys about the Silver Fox, okay? That scent. My mom, when she passed away, I had one bottle of cologne that she bought me years before. I still had some in it. I hung on to that. I've had it all these years. She died in 2005. I sent that cologne to Sugar Creek Goods, and I said, can you emulate that smell? So I'll never forget it. This is the product of that. This is the result. Sugar Creek Goods, Silver Fox, and the Silver Fox Body Butter. They nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. It's the same thing. It's like my mom's in the room with me. SugarCreekGoods.com. Promo code 1776 gets you a big discount. And if you pick up the Cowboy Logic collection, Tack Room soap, Barn Party soap, and the Silver Fox soap, along with the Silver Fox Body Butter, she'll send proceeds to Stand in the Gap for you. Support the J6ers. Support our sponsors. Go to SugarCreekGoods.com.
Yeah! Come on! Violence and grab! High Mark Lynch! No more swamp games are selling us out. A true conservative will stand up and shout. Fire Lindsay. Hire Mark Lynch. Lindsey Graham flip-flops way too long. Hated Trump, now sings his song. Loved endless wars, pushed amnesty too, flipped on Supreme Court when it suited you. Fire Lindsey Graham, enough is enough. Hire Martin Lynch, send the real stuff. No more swamp gangs are selling us out. A true conservative will stand up and shout. Fire Lindsey, hire Martin Lynch. Call Georgia to toss legal votes away. Got it that slaps for fundraising the wrong way. Dickheads in the swamp selling us out each time while our jobs leave and the people pay the fine. Fire Lindsey Graham, enough is enough. Hire Mark Lynch, send the real stuff. No more swamp gangs are selling us out. A true conservative will stand up and shout. Fire Lindsey, hire Mark Lynch. 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 Fire Lindsey.
Fire Lindsey Graham
Lindsay.
and hire Mark Lynch. You know, we used that bumper, when was it, last week, 2 weeks ago? When we had Mark on. We've known that man for a lot of years. And ladies and gentlemen of South Carolina, please fire Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
And President Trump, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would rethink your support of Lindsey Graham, because quite frankly, he never supported you.
No. And we've shown videotapes of him totally jumping ship on Trump immediately, especially on January 6th. But in South Carolina, Paul Dans, who was endorsed by Tucker Carlson, and Tucker got another ribbon from Trump on that one.
That was a death wish.
Has dropped out of the race and has endorsed Mark Lynch. And we do thank Paul for that. The primary is June 9th. Mark Lynch is endorsed by General Flynn as well. Okay. Now, there is a New Jersey Congresswoman's seat that Mikey, Cheryl, however you want to say your name, is vacating. Former Mayor Joe Hathaway of Randolph, New Jersey, is a Republican who we back. Please back him, folks. That's coming up, and it's a special election.
This robotic puppy looks so real, it completely fooled my neighbour who's a veterinarian. I've been a grandmother for 15 years, and this is the smartest.
It's a Thursday, April 16th. All right, so keep that in mind, New Jersey. This is my home area, Rockaway, New Jersey, parts of Morris County, parts of Essex County. But we got to try to flip that seat, possibly, to a Democrat. Again, former Randolph Mayor Joe Hathaway is running, and that special election is a
flip a seat
Thursday.
to a Democrat. What are you talking about?
To a Republican from a Democrat. Sorry.
Aren't you people glad I catch this stuff so that there's no confusion?
But it's a special election on a Thursday, which is weird. April 16th. Okay. Let's go to the videotape again, okay? From 1993, we're talking about birthright citizenship now. Former Senate leader Harry Reid, who introduced a bill saying this is crazy. We need to end birthright citizenship.
If making it easy to be an illegal alien isn't enough, how about offering a reward for being an illegal immigrant? No sane country would do that, right? Guess again. If you break our laws by entering this country without permission and give birth to a child, we reward that child with U.S. citizenship and guarantee of full access to all public and social services this society provides. And that's a lot of services. Is it any wonder that 2/3 of the babies born at taxpayer expense at county-run hospitals in Los Angeles are born to illegal alien mothers? Just when the American people think nothing can be more absurd than the way we deal, or rather don't deal, with illegal immigration, they discover that we have a political asylum system that would qualify us for Senator Proxmire's Golden Fleece Award 1,000 times over. I don't know why he didn't make this award. He should have.
Isn't it amazing that politicians have figured out that they can stay in office if they allow illegals to stay here?
Yep. What really scares me is SCOTUS is discussing this.
You people suck.
Yeah, and, well, no, not our viewers. The politicians.
The politicians.
Okay. And you've got John Roberts and Norm Eisen, super lawyer Norm Eisen are really good buddies. And they were seen dining, from what I've heard, in D.C. with some immigration lawyers. This doesn't look good because that should not happen. It should not be allowed. All right. And then you've got Maria Elvira Salazar, Florida 27th, a quote-unquote Republican. She's calling for mass amnesty, and there are a few Republicans that agree with her. It is time, folks, to primary these rhinos. And there's still time, actually, to throw someone in. In fact, I'm hearing Byron Donalds isn't exactly against this. That's not good. That is definitely not good. All right. The No Kings protests. This is priceless. This is priceless. Let's look at the clueless protesters who can't say why no kings.
What do you make of the fact that he was democratically elected, even won the popular vote? How does that make him a king?
It doesn't make him a king. It makes him a president, not a king.
Well, this is called No Kings. So what does that mean to you?
It means we got to get rid of him. He's not a king. It's a democratic process, and we've gone that route with him. Now he's acted like a king.
Can you give me a specific example?
Specific example? Well, there's a million of them all put together. There's no one example. It's exactly.
Just one or two?
It's more than one or two.
No, can you give me one or two examples?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, I can, I guess. I'm just in a loss of thought here on. There's a lot of things.
Okay.
I can't really.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay.
I know what Biden did. I don't agree with all of it, but this is way worse than what any other president
What makes
has
it
done
worse?
in this country. You can't see that? I don't have anything more to say if you don't know.
What makes President Trump a king?
Himself?
What specific policies or actions?
Oh, everything that he does. The man's a fascist.
Can you give me an example?
Oh, boy, of everything that he does. I mean, just tries to put his name on everything.
What specific action or policy is the Trump administration acting like a king?
He wants to be a dictator. He loves dictators. He wants to be a dictator. And
didn't he just remove a dictator from Venezuela?
He went in and stole them.
So he was not a dictator in Venezuela?
He was.
So he removed a dictator.
Has disappeared. There are people that are American citizens that immigrated to this country illegally, and they're gone. Some people.
Can you give me a specific example? Because I'm not aware of any American.
You're not
citizens.
aware of that? It's being in the news.
Can you give me a specific example?
There.
Donald Trump rapes children.
Of an American citizen.
I know it's a setup. What you're
no,
doing.
I want you told me an American citizen has been
I can
deported.
look it up, but
that's a big claim. I just want to know.
There are several of them.
They are running on total Trump derangement syndrome. They know the Democrat Party is devoid of any ideas, but
what do you think the combined IQ of those 4 or 5 people was?
40,
maybe,
if that
combined.
I mean, it's really scary because they're all white too, which cracks me up.
And do you notice they cannot argue, they cannot debate, they have no facts.
No, they have no cowboy logic whatsoever. Okay, so were they white? Maybe they weren't necessarily white. It depends upon who you think.
This guy doesn't know what the hell he is.
Who you think you are.
I'm brown, gay, illegal, proud. Let's go. Let's just break it down. We're going to start with brown.
So I was assigned white skin pigmentation at birth by my parents' bigoted doctor, but I identify as African American and Mexican. So I consider myself transracial.
Let's break down gay. How gay are you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm 11. But I was assigned straight at birth, but I identify as homosexual, so I consider myself trans gay.
And illegal?
Well, illegal is such a subjective term. I like to think of it as a social construct. So I was assigned American at birth, but I identify as illegal. So I'm actually trans illegal.
Okay, so you're trans, brown, and illegal.
Yes, correct. I'm trusting the science on this. So.
Okay.
Of course he is.
Trust the science? Are you serious?
I am trying so hard not to say the words.
Uh-oh. What?
We don't give a
Oh, no.
what you are.
Most people don't.
We don't give a
Apparently, Don doesn't give a that he's going to have to edit all these out, too. This is insanity. Total Trump derangement syndrome is permeating, even with podcasters. We're going to look at that coming up as well later on in the show. We'll be back right after this.
This is my calling, carved in pain, born for the fight, baptized in flame. America bleeding, I heard the cry. Green Beret warrior, live free to die. Never Steel birds screaming through the night, mountains closing in, no room for light, frozen ground, no place to sleep, waiting in silence, counting the beats. Down in the dark, engines and guns, death being packed for the innocent ones. Finger on trigger, breath held tight, waiting to bring hell from the sky. Targets marked, no turning back, justice loaded, ready to crack.
Drinking warm water with cinnamon before bed eliminates this parasite from the pancreas and resets blood sugar levels and reverses.
This is my calling, carved in pain, born for the fight, baptized in flame. Painted the target, thunder overhead, shockwaves screaming, bury the dead. Never forget. Never forget.
Never forget. Never forget. It's a song that we wrote a while back. At some point, we'll release that on Real America's Music as well. But that song was written based on an email that we received on September 11th, 2023, from Jeff McKellop when he was locked up in prison for J6. And we are going to bring back Jeff McKellop, but we're going to bring him back in with a whole different role that he's going to start playing with Cowboy Logic, and that is that of a military analyst. And, you know, a lot of times the military analysts are all these flag officers. We've had many of them on in the past. I actually can't think of a better military analyst than a sergeant first class, and I can't think of a better man than Jeff McKellop. Jeff, welcome back to Cowboy Logic, my dear brother. And we are going to talk about SEER school, SEER training. It's something you used for 4 years, quite honestly, when you were locked up. And specifically, over the next two segments, I want to get into your knowledge, tap your knowledge for what this colonel, this weapons operator colonel that was shot down in Iran and had to evade the Iranian National Guard.
And he was injured.
Injured at elevations that most people would start wheezing at.
Yeah, 7,000
so,
feet.
if you don't mind, would you educate our beloved viewers as well as us on what SERE stands for, S-E-R-E, and you've gone through this training, you know all about it. And then let's talk a little bit about what this guy had to do almost immediately from muscle memory, basically. So explain SERE schools, SERE training, and what that's all about.
So it's a little over a month long for me when I went, and it's SERE schools, Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape, S-E-R-E. And what the school teaches you in a combat environment is how to overcome adversity and how to get yourself back to friendly forward lines or get picked up by friendly forces in an emergency situation. And if you get caught, which is unfortunate if you do, not good for you, it teaches you how to become a actor and a psychological player. I shouldn't give away too much, but you have to be able to recognize the signs and symptoms of interrogation skills and how to overcome this thing in order to get yourself back alive. So you're doing everything you can to stay alive to get back home. And
so,
the schoolhouse teaches you this.
So the minute that he ejected from this, was it an F-15?
Yeah.
Okay. The minute that he ejected from that, first of all, he knows he's over enemy territory. He knows, obviously, that if there, and this is pre-flight, if there was going to be a problem, it would not be a good situation for him, period. Okay? The minute that he's ejected from that plane, the second he is, and the minute his chute opens, what's going through his mind?
So he takes contact, all right? Now he needs to think about how he's going to fly his craft back home and try to get it back as quick as possible. So I'm going to talk because there's a lot to it. So anyway, as soon as he knows he's going down, he's radio in. He sends in a 10-digit grid where he thinks he's going to impact. He ejects from the thing. Now he's up in the air and he's in his chute and he's now you're going through the different levels of SERE. One is survival. You have to survive the initial impact. So he's thinking about where he's at. He's assessing the situation as he's floating down. He's looking for anybody coming after him, anybody verging in on him. Where is he going to land? Is it in the rocks? Is it in the trees? Is it in the water? How's he going to survive the initial impact and then get to safety? So he goes into the survival mode, okay? He doesn't have time to pack a ruck and stuff like that. So whatever he's got on his body or the chair that he's in, his ejection chair, is all he's got. All right, maybe a small backpack with some first aid equipment, a bottle of water, some stuff like that. Maybe some power bars, compass. You know, they got little survival tools. So he's surviving right now. He's in the survival mode, which will carry on through till his rescue. Once he hits the ground, he goes into the evasion phase. All right. And now he's got to figure out where the best course of action is. Where did I land? Am I near friendly forward lines? Am I further back in enemy territory? Which way's north, south, east, west? He's assessing this all the time while trying to remain calm. Now, excuse me, from what I understand, he was injured. All right. Now he needs to go into self-aid. Now he's in, once again, he's still in the survival mode. And now he has to go into the evasion mode. Stop me if I'm on.
Let me ask you a quick question about the injury. Okay, you know, because you've done many jumps. What speed is he hitting at? Now, obviously,
ejected. So it's
different. I mean, when he lands with that parachute, ballpark me on what that would feel like for somebody that has never jumped out of an airplane. Or been ejected.
When, from what I understand about, I don't want to give away any top military secrets, but when he ejects with that chair, his body's locked in tight. That's why everything is tight, because you're flying at speeds of probably like 500 miles an hour. And when you come out of that thing, your limbs are going to go flying and you're going to dislocate, if not lose something. So he needs to be tight when he comes out. So if he's minus the chair as he's coming down, he's probably scared and not thinking about how his body position is going to be. So when you're flying down to the ground, you're probably moving at about 15 miles an hour, maybe 20 tops, depending on your weight, wind, and all that stuff. Okay. And the thing is, when he hit, he was probably like extended out. All right. And he hit wrong, and then you can dislocate your spine, your pelvic girdle.
He had back
so he
and
may
ribs.
have been injured coming out of the cockpit.
Yeah, back and ribs is what we were told.
From what I understood, he broke his ankle or something like that.
Yeah, his ankle too. Yep.
Okay, so now he's limping. He doesn't have full mobility, and he's going to be dragging something with him. Now he's got to carry whatever he could take with him into the evasion portion of it. All right. It's survival and evasion. Now you've got two scenarios going on at once. All right. And
all right.
he hasn't been.
No, let me ask you this, because we've only got 2 minutes left in this segment. At this point, the military, the Air Force, the SEALs, the United States has no idea where this guy actually is. Am I correct? Or does he have a beacon on him that they know where he is? But the problem with the beacon is the Iranians could know where he is too.
Right.
So
they could
has he shut that off?
So he needs to keep it off until he's time. And sometimes they'll have epoch times where he needs to wake up, which means turn on his radio, and it'll send a transmission, give him a 10-digit grid to any of the
8 years without a single dementia case in a nursing home? Yeah, it shocked me too. Because the decline, memory issues, confusion, withdrawal, they all seemed inevitable in a nursing home where most of our residents are in their 70s and 80s. Exactly. So what did you do? Well, it took a bit of research, but I found out people with untreated hearing loss have up to 5 times higher risk of
friendlies that are nearby or anybody that's monitoring his frequency. All right. But he needs to turn it off because everybody else is listening to it too. They may not be on his encryption device, so they'll listen to the transmission, but they'll know where the signal is coming from. So they'll get a general direction and start triangulating his position. Kind of like they used to do back in World War II. You get it from a couple of different areas.
But from what I heard, this was so space age. AI was even able to find his heartbeat, which is amazing.
That's called, and I thank Ron for bringing this up. Ghost Murmur. When we get back from the break, let's get into what he was faced with, given the fact that he had to elevate himself. He had to climb 7,000 feet to be able to get into a position. How was that determined? Was it predetermined? It couldn't be predetermined because they don't know where he'd go down. So we got a lot to unpack, ladies and gentlemen, but we are thrilled that our brother, Jeff McKellop, who has literally been boots on the ground, is going to join us moving forward to do military analyst work with Cowboy Logic. And we are thrilled about that. We don't even want to talk about J6 anymore with Jeff. We're going to get back into this SEER training and Iran with Jeff McKellop when we get back on Cowboy Logic. We'll be right back.
fool. They think I'm hiding in the shadows. But I am the shadows.
And we're back on Cowboy Logic with our Cowboy Logic military analyst,
Sergeant First Class McKillop, reporting for duty, sir.
Jeff, you explained SEER. I mean, it's survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. Obviously, this pilot is now injured. He's got an ankle injury, back, and other injuries when he landed. You've got, Iran looking for him and all the bad guys there, the unfriendlies. They ran a 150 aircraft they sent in apparently to try to rescue this guy. And Ron was talking before we came back on about how the C-130s had to be blown up because they sunk in the sand. And this whole thing cost about $200 million. And everybody's saying, oh, it cost $200 million. Well, look at Afghanistan. If you think about it, we left $85 billion worth of equipment.
Yeah,
there.
and how do you price? You can't put a price on no one left behind, right, Jeff?
This is absolutely true, and this man was doing everything he could to get back home and risking his own life, giving away his position, climbing to a higher location so he could see around, so he could get somebody to pinpoint where he was at, which was pretty impressive, especially with a broken ankle. But adrenaline will make you do some inhuman things. Good for him. Good for him. He got to this location so he could better identify himself with friendly forces, which was a trick in itself. I still can't get over it. So you want to talk about what was it? The question? I apologize. There's so much.
Well, the deception campaign and what a great military campaign it was to save this guy. Then, I'm not a military person at all, but man, I keep comparing this, and there's no comparison to Benghazi. How we left our guys out there and just ridiculous.
Well, we didn't have President Trump and Pete Hegseth at the helm for Benghazi.
The difference is who you are working for, and the Department of War has just been amazing in this response. But they did diversions and things of that nature.
Yes. So we learned a lot from this from Major Gilbert back in early stages of Iraq when he was shot down, and the CSAR teams, the search, air, and rescue. Hats off to these guys, Dev and, Delta and PJs and all these other guys that they had out there, but they couldn't get to Major Gilbert in time. They tried. He went down in his plane and insurgents grabbed the body before the CSAR teams could get there. So it was a race. It's a race for time. And it's totally against you. So that's why as soon as they found a 10-digit grid, that was their start point to start looking for the pilot. And they came as fast as they could. And they damn near crash landed these C-130s into the desert on an unproved runway. And they got stuck in the sand, and they had to abort. And then they had to send other aircraft in to get the pilots and the crew members off the C-130s, blow those in place, still go get the rescue pilot. It was a pretty daring operation when you got a whole country of people looking for you.
Talk about ghost murmur. Now, this is a technique. This was implemented, from my understanding, by the CIA, and this detected his heartbeat. This technology. Do you want to dive into that a little bit without divulging, obviously, anything that you probably shouldn't divulge?
Well, I mean, a lot of it's on Wikipedia, so you could check that out. I don't know how accurate Wikipedia anyway. It detects a strong heart presence from a long way away. and if angled correctly, and you can have a general idea where
the best magnesium for your brain. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Robert Love. I'm a neuroscientist. I've been
this cat is at, hiding in the rocks, you'll be able to pick him up. And then thermal image from a long way away, about 2-3 miles away, you'll pick up a speck of imagery. But our imagery is pretty dominant.
And this is the
first time this ghost murmur has ever been used, right?
Been used.
Yes, I believe so.
All right, I want to turn to a reporter here. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Talk about the culture in the military, because you have a former U.S. Special Ops Command employee that just got arrested by the FBI. She's an Army veteran, and she leaked the fact that there was a pilot not rescued, which helps the enemy. And to me, this is a whole culture that...
Especially when they're trying to put out counter information saying the guy has been rescued to throw everybody off the track. I mean, I'm sorry, I interrupted, but...
You've got to take a look at her history first and see where her loyalties lie. Is she part of an organization? Is she a religious fanatic? Was she born in America, or were her parents immigrants? You know, but it's the ideology behind it. Well, that's totally adverse. She was counterproductive to a feint, as it's called, where the U.S. intelligence is throwing out ideas in social media within the Iranian space to make it look like the pilot is over here. He was picked up. No, he died on impact. I mean, all kinds of things were going on at once. And then all of a sudden you have somebody step in and go, oh, that's not right. You know, he was never picked up. He's still in country. As a matter of fact, he's got a broken ankle and he's hiding out 7,000 feet in a cliff crevasse. You know, that's not good. That's not good at all to have people that are in that space. And she wasn't vetted properly to begin with. So,
she's probably looking at some pretty serious charges, I would assume.
She has been arrested by the FBI.
Good.
But, I mean, this whole deception campaign was huge. And no man left behind, or woman. Yeah, that's another thing CNN said. Well, how come they didn't say no possible woman left behind? It could have been a woman pilot. I mean, the politically correct BS that we have to put up with when we're trying to basically run what could be something that's going to change the history of the world. And
yeah, we looked for Major Gilbert's body for years. I was part of it in the team that caught a guy that was in Gitmo. All right, it's kind of a long story. I'll make it short. Is that there was a guy that was let out of Gitmo. He was a hardcore Taliban leader, and they sent him to Jordan. He went to the Jordanian embassy. He's like, I know where Major Gilbert is. I want to speak to the Americans. Hence, they contacted Baghdad, where me and another buddy were hanging out when I was out of the military and I was doing some contracted work. And they came and grabbed us, and they're like, hey, you guys are now part of a team looking for Major Gilbert's remains. And we were super close to finding him. And I spent 2.5 months, me and a couple other people, planning the operation to recover the body. But the Iraqis and the Iraqi authorities got involved. And right before we recovered the body, he got wind of it and turned around and went straight back to Iran. So we missed his body. They ended up recovering it somewhere around 2015, and he went down in 2003. That's how long that's how long the United States was looking for him. No man left behind.
No man left behind.
Compare that to this particular operation. It's amazing.
They were doing everything. And like I said, time is of an essence. You have to hurry and crash flood the area by whatever means available to find this guy. He's on the move. He's injured. He's climbing a mountain, 7,000 feet. You know, you're scared. You got a bottle of water and a compass and no map.
Well, and it's cold as hell, right?
Yeah, and it gets cold at night, believe me, even if it's in the summer. But you're talking winter conditions in the Iranian space. Yeah, and he's on the move. And so you got to hurry up and get him before he perishes one, from the elements,
Wow.
or two, the Iranians get a hold of him. So,
Let me ask you this. We've got about a minute and a half left. From someone that has been there and done that, you're an authority on this kind of stuff. How impressive was that Easter weekend rescue mission?
It was pretty dynamic. I mean, that brought tears to my eyes. I was so happy they found him, because we've been out in the desert and moving around, on foot or climbing mountains in Afghanistan and stuff like that. And that's some unforgiving terrain. And now you've got a whole nation on your butt. It's like, shoot an azimuth, keep moving, don't stop, squeeze your neck scarf, get the water out of it and keep going. It's like, can you find some fruits and berries, eat some sagebrush? So, I mean, God, that still brings tears to my eye. Good job to America. Thank you for getting that, man.
This Department of War is stellar compared to what it was before.
Jeff, I want to give you an opportunity. You've got a very fashionable hoodie on there, bearskin, I believe is what it's called. And you highly endorse this product. I know that, and it keeps you warm, and it's also very manly looking. It is not designed for soy boys, right?
Man.
Yeah,
I'm no child, but I'm a man. The bearskin hoodie proves it.
That's right.
Got an insane amount of zippers.
Hey, we love you, Jeff McKellop. We appreciate you being here in the new role of military analyst.
Thank you, Jeff. God bless.
He will be back, ladies and gentlemen. We got more coming.
Yep.
Barn Party Drummers. Once again, every week, you never cease to amaze us, and we appreciate. Matter of fact, you Barn Party Drummers go nuts on Friday mornings when Donna's doing the morning show hit. Yep. That's pretty cool to watch.
That's pretty cool.
And we would be remiss
if we didn't say Dana. And again, Cowboy Logic Laser, it's Ron's company. He makes these. He makes a bunch of other stuff, too. Some great, cool things.
Yep.
Wall hangings, anything you want engraved, Ron can do it. Cowboy Logic.
These are husband beaters.
Laser.com. Yes, that's
true. These are husband beaters.
This is true. This is very good.
See how that works?
Yep.
All right, let's rock and roll. We have.
As a doctor, I tell you, stop praying for God to take away your type 2 diabetes. He has already sent the cure.
Got an entire hour with the magnificent Jovan Hutton Pulitzer.
There he is.
Hey,
with a
nice
cowboy hat.
Nice lid.
I am wearing my beaver hat.
That's
and
right.
My beaver goo just for you.
We have a lot of beaver going on right now.
And the folks who listen to you on a regular basis know exactly what you do with beaver goo. And it's scary.
Right.
You will never have. You'll always get. You're never going to use real vanilla again. That's all I can say. Look it up.
There you go.
That's right. Hey, is there beaver goo in like vanilla ice cream? That's real vanilla ice cream.
Probably.
Yes.
Oh no. God, that's terrible.
All right, now listen.
All right.
We could spend the entire hour laughing and talking stupid stuff. That's really not stupid, but it's funny. Or we can interject some humor throughout the next hour, which I think is what we probably ought to do, Jovan.
Yeah.
Because
I would hope so.
What we're going to talk about is so damn serious that we've got to lighten it up a little bit. Is there a need to do an intro on him?
Okay.
We've been doing intros on you for
I guess not. But
6 years.
We should talk
7
about
years.
the book, especially Countdown to Chaos, which unfortunately is coming true. And then, of course, the other one, the Food Forest Bible. And again, the giant fruit, small spaces, no dig, gardening, all kinds of other stuff. Weeding is a pain in the ass to me, I got to tell you.
Jovan, before we get started, there's a crawl going across the top of the screen, ladies and gentlemen, that's got his Substack. Explain to everybody, if they go there and or if they subscribe, what happens? What do they get?
My Substack is inherently free. It's my newsletter. It's my blog. I'll write articles there. I can post videos that you can only get there. I can post podcasts that you can only get there. But it's probably where I open up a little more from the educational standpoint of just sharing things, sharing links, which you can't do in my program. And then I do have some subscription ones like Survive the Crap, which is the complement to Cut the Crap. It's just how to survive in homesteading and other stuff. And then Fire Axe Academy, where you really learn how to audit elections and what you should be looking at. But it's basically just consider it my blog where I can share things.
It's just amazing to me how much you know about so many different things. It really is, to me, an advanced education, quite honestly. And you're the only person, I actually have an entire Jovan file. You're the only guest I have.
That's
when I see
so funny.
stuff,
so does the FBI.
I was just going to say, Donna, you're not the only one that's created a Jovan file.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at it in that vein, but yeah, okay. So
see, that was a perfect example, ladies and gentlemen. Funny, but serious.
Yes, it's true. Yes. All right. I mean, and when I tell people about elections, they're like, "Oh, how'd you know that? How'd you know that?" And I'm like, "It's because."
Jovan.
Yeah, really. Some of the stuff you've come up with is things that most people just assume, but you know what happens when you assume, Felix Unger? You make an ass out of you and me. You think that your elections are run properly, and they're not.
What? if I assume I make I thought if I assume I get ass out of you. Now I'm dyslexic.
That's right. That's right.
Jeez, no wonder my expectations were always crushed when I did that. I was waiting and nothing happened.
You know, you're such a dweeb.
Don't be a dweeb, dude.
We're just reiterating your show from this morning.
Dude.
Dude.
Let me put on a necklace.
Bro,
dude, where's my car?
Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro.
All right.
Dude, where's my car?
By the way, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, I hear Jovan in our home twice a day. Every day, even on the weekends.
He has to have good damn ears because I'm 2 bedrooms and under the bed away when he hears me. So.
That's right.
I have a big
But
boom
how
box.
is it? What's the best way, Jovan, if people want to become the smartest person in their room, in their home, in their town, in their neighborhood? What is the best way for them to come listen to you? Because I know what it is because Donna's listened to it every damn day and night.
Right. My anchor channel is rumble.com/Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. And I do a program called Cut the Crap because we just want to grab these rat bastards by the lapels and go, cut the crap. And so it just stands for CRAP, C-R-A-P, Culture, Race, and American Politics. 7 days a week, 7 a.m., 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And yes, I'm one of these people you'll find in my program. I use humor.
Yes,
and I may occasionally drop a bad word simply because it's so damn stressful. I would explode like a super fat chick in corduroy pants trying to run 100. The kinetic energy, I got to get it out, so I have to be funny every now and then.
That's right.
And if you hold up your phone to get QR codes, that's his stuff. Your Easy Pass. That's his stuff. So people are wondering who the hell you are. You're an amazing inventor. You've got all kinds of patents all over the world. And you know what was going on in the full forensic audit in Maricopa County, which you deciphered after all the information was gathered. And people, you know, to me, this is why Maricopa is totally being avoided at all costs. But
well, it is because
we'll
it's the paper. If you go to Maricopa and you remember all the colors, all the cameras, all the tables, I actually designed every bit of that. It's the first time a full forensic audit was done. So when they were gathering stuff in that format, they were gathering specifically for my forensic team to do it, to look at it a different way. But yes, it's exactly why they avoid it, because it's the only evidence of how it happens, when it happens, and how they do it. The problem is it's prosecutable evidence, felonies both at state and federal level, and the system likes to not put their buddies away, so they'll focus on stuff that's voluntary, like the machines.
Well, and the thing is, this is why Fulton County here in Georgia, they're fighting tooth and nail to stop the ballots. They're doing it in other states as well.
California, they put a squash on the sheriff there in California. They know he's got the ballots. You can't look at them. That's the deal. It's always been people, paper, and programs. And when you say the machines do it, folks, like you've been trained to do, you also are in the same category that guns kill people. You're ignoring that people kill people, not guns. But when you say it's the machine, they've conned you into the same trick as they con people into believing guns kill people. Knock it off.
All right, we have just a couple minutes in this segment. I want to review way back because I want people to get, a lot of people who don't follow you don't know this stuff. Briefly explain how the Republican Party, starting in New Jersey, was sued to essentially stand down. And that culture has pretty much permeated through the Republican Party for decades.
Exactly. You have to think about people like Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi and stuff. These were the people that were around then. And just prior to the 2020 election, right, or 2020 election, the Republican Party had agreed to almost a 40-year stand down. The Democrats sued the Republicans and said, you cheated. And so the Republicans, and what's called a consent decree, believe it or not, never went to court, agreed, okay, we won't do it anymore. So they agreed to, okay, we won't do this anymore so they wouldn't get sued. But then they agreed to never bring a lawsuit, to never bring a lawsuit about things going wrong with the elections. And the Republicans did that. And so this con ran for almost 40 years. A judge kept it alive. Finally, he died just before 2020. And then, of course, it was too late. But that's how they kept this window open. And that's how they trained 3 generations of attorneys coming in that in the Republican Party, you don't ever talk about things going wrong in the election or what you do. And that's why nobody knew how to fight it. It was basically learned amnesia at the hands of the Republicans.
And that culture still permeates today. They're do-nothing Republican Party. I was at Fox in 2020.
No, I want to defend them.
2000.
I want to defend.
You guys keep saying 2020, but it was 2000.
No, but it was 2020 when this judge died. Okay.
Yeah, they basically. I just want to let you know, the Republican Party did do things. They did file 72 lawsuits to be able to get a hold of the ballots. They listened to what I was saying, and they did file 72 lawsuits. Now, granted, they filed it 12 hours before the statute of limitations expired, and nobody got served until the next day, and therefore they had the right to destroy it. But
the best magnesium for your brain. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Robert Love. I'm a neuroscientist.
They did file lawsuits.
Yeah.
All right, let's pick back up on that when we get back from the break. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Jovan with us for the entire hour, and that is a treat. Make sure you take notes. Make sure you write down the Substack address.
JovanHuttonPulitzer.substack.com. We'll be back right after this. Hey everybody, Donna Fiducia here to talk to you about Cowboy Logic Laser.com. And boy, do we have so many goodies. We have the glasses. Well, first of all, we have the highball glasses and your cocktail glasses, Cowboy Logic Laser.com. Or you have the carpenter pencils, which Don loves so much, and he shows them all the time on our show. And Well, it comes with a sharpener too. CowboyLogicLaser.com. And you got coffee mugs. Anything you want, they can laser it on. Now this one I'm not even going to open up because I almost chopped my finger off first time, but they do have a Cowboy Logic laser knife as well. Anything you want, CowboyLogicLaser.com. CowboyLogicLaser.com. Promo code 1776 gets you 10% off, folks. And the stuff is just really great. It supports the show, and we really do appreciate it. CowboyLogicLaser.com.
She hangs on the porch, soft and faded by time. Holds Valley Forge, cold and young blood in her lines. Last sack for the grave as they close weary eyes. A quiet promise beneath wide open skies. Every star holds a name. Every stripe holds a tear. Our boys are gone forever, but old glory's still here. Here's to the fallen, they stood in the gap. To the laughter and letters that never came back. I'll hold you close till my last breath is gone. Oh, glory, sweet glory, they'll carry you on. Iwo Jima's black sail, that flag raised up high. One Marine never came back to his bride. Gettysburg silence, desert dust far away. You've covered so many on their final day. Every star holds a name. Every stripe holds a tear. Our boys are gone forever, but old glory's still here. Here's to the fallen, they stood in the gap. To the laughter and letters that never came back. I'll hold you close till my last breath is gone. Oh, glory, the sweet glory will carry you
All right, everybody. Every star, every stripe. You guys haven't seen that before, and it's because it's a new song that we are releasing. It will be through Real America's Music. It will air and be released on May 8th. And we are planning this because we believe that Memorial May is what is important.
Exactly.
And not Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Every Star, Every Stripe is a song that we wrote that talks about the importance and the sacredness of the American flag and those that have fallen. The flag stays.
Every time I see that video, I get a lump in my throat.
So start thinking about it. We need digital downloads on Every Star, every stripe. It's going to be released May 8th. Let's get back in here with our brother, Jovan.
All right, Jovan, just before the break, we kept messing up years here. When I was at Fox in 2000, they were walking around the newsroom during the Hanging Chads BS saying, besides the fact that Clinton might declare martial law, Hillary Clinton wanted to stop counting military ballots and any absentee ballot. And to me, that's when the light bulb went off and they said, gee, maybe we can use these to our advantage, these ballots. And that really is when I think the major corruption started, and then it got put into overdrive, obviously, in recent or elections after that. Am I wrong?
No, not at all. In fact, if you were to watch and understand, they tested in states. And so this issue with both drop boxes or mail-in ballots exclusively, like Maricopa's no excuse, they tested in Washington state predominantly. Mm-hmm. They tested the ERIC system. So when you see states doing certain things, that's how they learn to test out, do it, how can they manipulate it, etc. But yes, it all comes down to if you can ever get a name on the voter roll, because you have an address, you now know how, when, and where to intercept it. But because it's tied to a voter roll, you know if they actually came in on election day to vote. And then this is why they delay counting. Right at the last, they look up who voted, who didn't vote, who's still available, and magically ballots appear. It's basically what's called a fungibility asset swap that they do. And that's how they designed it. But it's people, paper, and programs. You know, nothing happens. They can't just put a totally fake voter in there because it exposes itself. You got to be able to track it back. So they know they have to hit these things. Oh, they came in and they were registered and they was this. But that's also why they have same-day voting. It's all a rig.
Yeah, totally.
Jovan, I am, along with probably all of our viewers, extremely concerned about the midterm elections. The flipping of the House, the flipping of the Senate, the impeachment of Donald Trump, lawfare, more of it. Is anything being done since the last time you were on the show and you gave solutions the last time to help prevent this problem from happening? Or are we screwed for the midterms?
Number one, anything's possible because I think God is involved and we got to wait and see. That's number one. Number two, President Trump and the appropriate legal team know exactly how it's done and know that it's mail-in ballots and not the machines. And so you saw that brand new executive order come out modified in a very interesting way. I want you to...
For those who can't stop discovering,
go back and look. When President Trump came out with, you know, we all put out burn the voter rolls. We all got into that. President Trump, you know, personally debriefed by me, knows this, the voter rolls or whatever. The bad guys kind of ignored that and told President Trump, well, you can't really do that. You can't get rid of the voter rolls. Well, what he did is he worked around it. He worked around it by saying, well, I can do this, this, and this. And that's the executive order that he put in about, well, you just have to let us know how many voters you have on the rolls and you have to confirm they're real. Now, what that does is it basically takes what they do to skirt the law, put their name on the line, which then makes them a criminal for certifying it. So I think it was a brilliant move, the way they ultimately decided to lawfare it. Well, the moment that came out is the moment where you saw the system completely turn against Trump. And you saw a lot of, quote unquote, conservative broadcasters trying to say, well, Trump's lost his mind. He's out. He can't do it, whatever. They pivoted with their backup plan. And the way I see it is when you see all this infighting and bickering and you see people like Alex Jones, I cannot understand what he's doing. I can't.
Yeah.
I understand Candace. Her background is she was an intern at Vogue magazine and then became an assistant. That's her professional background. I can understand some of these other idiots that the system raised up, bait and switch people, and then they flip them. Some of the other ones I'm having a hard time with, but I know what's going on. They are providing ground cover for the steal. Basically, you see on the supposed conservative and patriot side, they are laying ground cover. MAGA's dead. We're walking away from Trump. They're laying ground cover. So that's the story that, well, Trump lost because MAGA walked away, which, by the way, is absolute horse crap.
Yeah.
The rig is in. That's why Kamala, when Obama came in the first time, 69 million votes. Second time, 68 million votes. Hillary got 65 million against Trump, but Trump won. Then Biden got 81 million. Kamala comes in at 68 million, which says she's more popular than Hillary, more as popular as Obama. But in our 15, 16 months since the election, they've raised her up to over 75 million. What they're doing is they're justifying those bad ones by getting another couple of votes in there. See, they were real. They voted the whole time. So that part of the rig is in. Right now, I'm just telling you, outside of America, I don't see how we pull off the midterms. I think it's already done. I think Politico Inc. is in on it. I think it's orchestrated by both parties. They want Trump out. They want the grift going on, etc. Right? And they don't want that system to go away. So they're going to do everything they can to swing the House, swing the Senate. Then they're going to impeach Trump, make it stick. And then that's what makes all of the reverse history stick. If you want to understand how this rig really works, since 1990, the world has given Africa $1.7 trillion to improve life for their people there. In that program, at a time when they had about 15% of their people truly living in poverty, not getting things, as soon as the money came in, 66% of their population went into poverty. Some of that's come back, but it's still over 30%. The money's useless because the money's being stolen.
Yeah.
And so the system doesn't want that to go away. And that includes left and right. There is no left. There is no right. It's a uniparty. There is no Democrat Party. There is no Republican Party. It's all crap. It's all about the grift. They've all enriched themselves. They're too far in.
All right, hang on.
They know
They're
when
too
they break
far
down
in. Hold that thought. Thought. We got a hard break here.
We'll come back with
Ladies
that.
and gentlemen, we're going to pick right up
I didn't want to
where
hear
we
that.
left off. You're watching Cowboy Logic. We'll be right back.
He's got the red, white, blue grindhound farm. Simplified tattoo on his left arm. Spent a little more in the store for a tag in the back and says USA. He won't buy nothing that he can't fix.
This crazy world is telling you your sons can be daughters and your daughters can be your sons. When will the madness stop? Never. So you have to decide, will you comply or defy? They tell us all, you will own nothing, eat bugs, and be happy. Is this why America's largest food processing plants and food supply plants keep burning down? Do you really think this is a coincidence? Of course not. The system is telling us right to our faces what they have planned for us. You have a choice. Comply or simply defy their plan for us all. Defy the system's plan and execute your own plan. Abundant, safe, secure natural food supply. Introducing the Food Forest Bible. This bestseller by Jovan Hutton Pulitzer is the single most complete, executable, easy-to-follow plan for sustainable, self-managing food production for self-sufficiency and food security. For the first time ever, a coffee table heirloom quality full color book which unlocks the ancient secrets of creating a food forest. Imagine planting in a way which requires no digging, no pesticides, and creates massive ancient food abundance. No fooling. Food forests are the ancient secret to planning and planting once. And have your own Garden of Eden, which will feed your families for decade after decade. Buck the system. Buck the New World Order and order your very own copy of Jovan Hutton Pulitzer's Food Forest Bible. Learn how to create a sustainable, self-managing, natural food production for self-sufficiency and food security for your family. Side yard, small yard, backyard, backlot, or even lots of acres, the Food Forest Bible works for everyone. Order on Amazon, hardcover, softcover, or ebook. Don't comply. Expertly defy the system.
Man, he's good. He is really good.
He's a good little picker.
Jeez. EricWoolard.com. You can find all of his stuff there. Let's bring Jovan Pulitzer back again. Jovan Hutton Pulitzer.
Pick up where you left off, brother.
Oh, I thought you said be a good picker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
I completely misunderstood.
And Jovan
I
H.
apologize. I
Pulitzer.
said I can do that.
You can't do it as well as Eric Woolard, though.
But what
No,
you were
you've
talking...
never looked under my desk. You would know that I'm highly qualified.
Hey, see, you can get more stuff just like that if you listen to Jovan every day.
Look, I ended on the whole damn system's corrupt. They're all in on it. We'd be crying if we couldn't laugh at it.
That's
and
exactly
so as you
what I
go
was gonna
into
say.
a break and it drives you down to your gut and you go, crap. You know what?
Yeah.
Bring it back up. Let me get those endorphins and stuff going. We'll talk about
There
it
you
because
go.
there is a solution out.
All right, listen.
The bottom line is.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Bottom line is...
I forgot where it was.
No,
the
you
bottom
didn't.
No, you didn't.
I know you well enough. You don't ever forget anything.
I don't think you've forgotten anything your entire life.
The bottom line is they've learned how to milk the system, and we're basically the economic engine. We're not fighting the left. We're fighting the right, trying to keep the two-party play-acting kafabi going that they basically steal from us.
Mm-hmm.
And they think they can steal enough to break us. That's what's going on. And then, with all the scaremongering going on, they're going to bring in the digital economy. I told everybody that it's coming. And I hear they may be doing up to a 30% discount, meaning they're going to take away 30%. Your savings going digital, you can't do anything about it. They've done it before. Mexico just went. You can't buy any fuel in Mexico unless it's in the digital system. It's coming. It's right on our borders.
Yeah.
We've got hotels in the United States doing it. So I see a man very strategically doing brilliant work, which changes the course. And I'll give you an example. If you think about the fact that President Trump is effectively shutting down the Strait of Hormuz.
If you are a Christian and still suffer from type 2 diabetes, I am going to teach you right now the recipe that emptied the diabetes ward of the hospital.
Okay. He's going after, he went into Venezuela, got Maduro out. He wants to bring Canada in the fold. He wants to bring Iceland into the fold. What's really going on is he's building a big fortress around North America that all assets of those countries are self-sustained. And now what it's doing is it's going to force Russia and China to buy from us because the Strait of Hormuz is down. But so few people really understand what's going on. And they think, the saying was, no new wars. He gave us a new war. Fools, he did not. We've been at this for 47 years. Not a single one of our presidents dealt with it. They tried to pay their way out of it. It's always been a war in America. They're going to kill us. The only thing that happened is President Trump decided to put an end to it. See, they're at war with us. We are not at war with them. And you've got to understand that. For 47 years, Iran's been at war with us. We haven't done anything about it. So he's shutting it down. But if you understood geopolitics and you understand the assets in the world, they flipped everything. And right now we sit in a position that will basically make the rest of the world depend on our resources.
Yeah.
Literally. And, we don't get oil from there. That's not where our oil comes from. But OPEC countries said it. I taught people this. And they think the president can wave his wand and change gas prices. No, everything works off reserves and transit. But it's about to flip where it's going to have to take in American oil. Do you think we're the only country that impugns the environment with oil drilling? No, the whole world, if oil drilling was bad, they'd shut it down. They only try to shut down America and energy because they want America to go down, not to protect the one-eyed, purple-headed lesbian horn frog. It has nothing to do with it. It's a con.
It totally is. And the thing is, people want things immediately. They go to the pump, it costs you $100 now to fill up your car. And that's what they're going to remember unless we can right this wrong before November, because
I think that's shallow.
Yeah, of course it is. But the bottom line,
I think that is so shallow.
But they don't think long term. Not like the Chinese and not like the Russians.
The system's taught us that. The system has taught Americans to live paycheck to paycheck. They turned everybody into consumers, buy nonstop. Don't be self-sufficient. Don't take care of yourself. Forget everything your grandparents and great-grandparents told you. Buy everything from the store. Don't think for yourself. Well, we're hooked in that. And therefore, it affects you every day at the pump. Well, if you can withstand this just a little bit at the pump, you're going to see an incredible change in the tide where America once again holds all the chips. It's a big undoing. But I find it totally ignorant that people actually listen to podcasters. Podcasters, the very stuff you knew that the mainstream media did to you with fake news. And all of a sudden you think, well, because it's a podcast, it's true. No, newsflash, folks, they brought up and held up people. I'll give you an example. I talk about what really happens in the elections. They don't interview me. They constantly truncate my feed, canceled my YouTube, 259,000 followers. Yet you get a guy comes out from nowhere, former CIA whistleblower, boom, 2 million people on YouTube, and he's talking about this stuff. Come on. It's all a rig. It's all designed to manipulate you. And he's one of the ones that instantly turned on Trump. They propped it up. You have to be able to see through this warfare of what they're doing. They're laying the excuse. And yeah, if you bitch at the pump, which it hurts, and I bitch at the pump, but it never leaves that pump. It never leaves that pump. I don't like going to a fuel station to pay your damn mortgage. Do you? Well, no. Folks, here's what we have to do. We have to buckle up, Buttercup. We have to understand this is bigger than we've ever seen. But what you're going to see at the end of it is America come roaring back. And that's why every agency, every crooked nation, every crooked three-letter crap, every crooked politician's what's the one thing they want? Donald Trump gone. So I tell you what, why don't you hate on Trump and be just like them? Just go register as a Democrat and make it good. And then why don't you be like the Muslims that want to kill us? They are praising Tucker, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and others. The people that want to kill us are praising those people, saying Allah changed their mind and showed them the truth. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. All right.
Well, that was a soundbite.
Yeah, that was a rant. Okay, the whole thing, the Critical Infrastructure Act, which you tried to get through to Donald Trump, could have stopped things automatically without needing John Thune and all of his stupidity that keeps slowing things down.
Correct.
Are we past that, unfortunately? Can this EO work for this? You got about 3 minutes.
What I said is President Trump did a compromise. Everybody around him tells you you can't do this technically under an EO and call it critical infrastructure. Here's the nuance. Instead of this time where he listened to people way back when in his first term, and he said, okay, I can't do it, he's learned. And so what they did is they modified it to where it's not terminate the voter rolls to, okay, you must certify your voter rolls, and you're going to send us every person on your list you know is good. Now, what that does is right now we don't know who reads and writes into our voter rolls. So you can't have prosecution because you don't know who did it. So what they did is they turned the tables and said, okay, put your signature on the line. This is correct. And they won't do it. And what that does in that refusal gives them the ability to work around and say, you're refusing to show us what's valid or not, so we need to inspect it. And so now it's been merged with not only the government Department of Homeland Security, but also with the Social Security Administration pushing this all together, everything we learned with Doge when Elon exposed 12 million people getting checks. It's coming to fruition in a little different way versus infrastructure, but it's being done. And I'm telling you, the system's pissed off about that. And that's why they've gotten all the quote unquote bigger guns to come out and say Trump is out of his mind. That's their response to what's really going on inside, where Trump's really doing the right thing, but they're trying to pre-butter it up that MAGA's dead. It's not. It's better than ever.
You know, these big influencers on social media, they don't do anything without being paid to do it. Correct? Am I right? Okay.
That's all you need to know.
I would guess some of the big names that you see turning, I suspect $20 to $50 million has changed hands to get them to that point.
You got any idea where that money is coming from? Who, in your opinion, and this is your opinion, unless you've got hard facts on it, who, in your opinion, is paying social media influencers to destroy the country?
You got 30 seconds.
It's coming from the same stuff they siphoned out of USAID and cloak accounts, but it's coming from conservative forces, or what you would think is conservative forces, or the good guys. They cannot stand to have Trump still in, because he's about to end the global grift for all. And so it's coming from bad sides, good sides, cloak sides, and the sides that are wearing a mask, but those masks are falling away quickly.
And you know what country just put in photo ID and proof of citizenship? Somalia. I just think that is priceless. We'll be back with Jovan Hutton Pulitzer right after this.
Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County Full Forensic Audit Archives survive. Donate now. So if you want...
Think YouTube runs live streaming? Think again. The biggest live streams in the US are happening on Rumble. And now...
Want what happened in the 2020 election fixed? Then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you. Our future needs you. Please donate now.
Hello, everybody. Kelly Meggs. I'm sure you know me at this point if you watch Don and Don at all. But tonight I let the dogs out for the last time and was kind of doing my nightly ritual. I sit outside a lot because I don't like being inside because of the jail cell thing. But I reflected a lot on this past week and with Charlie Kirk being assassinated and everything that happened with him. You know, our prayers all go out to him, but we also have a sense of what can we do? What can we do as Americans and as citizens to stand up against this? And what we can do is we can support companies that support us and support what we believe in our country. And Sugar Creek Goods is one of those companies. I just took a shower, like before bed. That's what I do every night. And I thought about this while I was in the shower. I'm like, this is a fantastic product. Not only is it an amazing product, but it's a company that supports our beliefs and in America. So if you want to do something, use your promo code 1776 and make a difference. Buy from an American company that supports Americans and supports what we believe in. Not what the media and everybody else tells you to believe in, but the truth. Use your promo code 1776. And God bless you. And God bless America.
You want to pay J6ers? You're damn right I want to pay J6ers. If you got wronged by the government, then you should be made right. That's America.